Well, a very, very excited me wishing you a very good morning today. I am at Lake Tekapo in the South Island, and you probably cannot see just how amazing this is from where I'm sitting, but you're about to see. This is one of, I would say, New Zealand's treasured lakes. They call New Zealand God's country, and I'd say this is why they do, because this lake is just phenomenal. First time I've been to Tekapo. Yeah, a little bit lost for words, as you can probably see. There's nobody here. It's very early. There's no wind. The cloud's supposed to clear. The sun's supposed to come out. And I'm about to share with you a very, very cool adventure. I'm going to go around the lake. There's a little island in the middle of the lake. I'm going to take you to that. Whew. You'll see the blue waters of this lake. There's something that goes on with the lake that makes the water very blue. You will see that. It's just stunning. I hope you enjoy this one.
Leave it all behind. Let it all go. It's not worth it anymore. You can't convince them or change their minds. Friends can easily become a foe. Blood sometimes just won't let you go. When the wind blows and it rains and you don't know why it pains you so, and it won't stop for a while. Just hang in there. It's worthwhile.
Chilly on the old hands.
This is so cool. There's a couple of boat ramps on this lake. One of them is over behind me, closer to the main township, and the one I was at is just over here. Just swing this around for you. Just near the Power Boat Club, which you can just sort of see there. There's a big camping ground and everything up here, so I'm just going to be a bit mindful because it's quite early. I want to wake everybody up, so I'll stay clear of that. This whole area here is a no motorized zone, so I'm going to keep out of that. Once I get around the corner, I'll let rip a bit, but I don't know if you can see the water, but it'll become a bit more apparent a bit later on when the sun comes out just how blue this is. Pretty stunning place. So I'm going to go around this bend for a start, and hopefully you'll see when I come round that corner, you're going to see a little bit more of what I'm talking about. The Southern Alps will come into view. Oh, cold on the eyeballs. I just still can't believe this water. It's so turquoise and blue. Just coming in here, you can look at these rock formations. Oh, so pretty. Trying to think of cool things to say, but again, I'm just a little bit speechless. Rugged, but it's not. It's such a different landscape to the North Island. It must drop off really quickly. It just suddenly goes rock to nothing. So it'll be a pretty deep lake. See if I can pull up into one of these little beaches. Yeah, definitely. It just goes from deep to very shallow. It's actually quite hard to get in and beach. You've got to be quite careful. And you can see over here. I'll get some footage for you with the drone shortly. Had to be a low flying mission. Buried flight. Have a look at this. So over there somewhere, I think it's a gravel road that takes you around before you come into Tekapo. There's a ski field up there, Round Hill. I think it's up there, it's just around in there. It's somewhere in this range. Perhaps it's over there, I forget which one. But it just looks out over the Alps and the lake, so really fun place to ski. It was one of my father's favourite places to ski. I have to check that out in winter. There's the island I want to get to. Pretty serene. Apart from this guy on a jet ski. Oh, I tell you what, it's a good thing I've got these heat gloves on because it's an Arctic breeze coming down. I've just gone right to, well, as far as I'm daring to go. I could probably go further. I'm on the northern side of the lake, but the water's just changed colour, and I know the lake stops up there, turns into, I think, a river. I don't want to go much further. just in case I get myself in trouble. But I've just not flatlined, but I've gone pretty fast in the middle of the lake, not much chop, and it is just amazing. Have a look at this. I'm not too sure what I'm looking at down there. It's definitely one of the taller mountains, bathed in cloud. I'll have a look when I get back. I don't know whether Mount Cook's down there somewhere. Our tallest mountain. Mount Aspiring's probably somewhere around in here. Whew. Have a look down that valley. Again, an action cam just does not do it any justice. But yeah, cloud and that landscape coming right down to the water. It's just phenomenal. Now, I've been trying to find some good jet ski boots or shoes rather than just wearing surf booties. I've ended up getting these Jet Pilot. They're actually for jet ski racing, but they have like a nice neoprene sock and they work a treat. Recommend them. Keep your feet nice and toasty as well. So just a couple of things. Tekapo, you're allowed to take your jet ski on. You've just got to be very careful of your 5 knot zones, your no ski zones, no motorised zones, all that sort of thing. And usual maritime rules apply. There are a few lakes and everything in the south that you can't take a ski on. I actually went to Lake Rotawiti, which is another Lake Rotawiti, not the one that I usually ride on in the North Island. This is the Nelson Lakes, which is phenomenal. It's up in St. Arnaud, which is quite far north in the South Island. Beautiful lake. I was going to ride there first, but I didn't do my homework. So always do your homework, particularly when you're in the South Island, that you can't ride jet skis on that lake. Something to do with back in the day, you had probably 2-stroke skis, made a heck of a lot more noise. But someone was being a hoon, went down there, upsets, I think, a family of swans. Someone was telling me, a local, blue swans, and then something was put forward. This is a while ago, and as a result, jet skis were banned. So I couldn't ride on that lake. My fault, didn't do my homework. You just got to basically search. Like, I know Pukaki, which is a beautiful lake not far from here, you can't ride skis on that. I don't think you can even ride any non-commercial vessels, and that's just a mirror lake when there's no wind, and it has Mount Cook in the background, I believe, Aoraki. So they've protected it, which I think is actually a really good thing. They've protected the lake by keeping all of the motorised vessels off the water. It helps that picturesque view, keeps it like a mirror. So I like that. Bit of a shame you can't ride on it, but at the same time, totally respect that and respect the locals and just what they're trying to achieve there. And there are a whole lot of other lakes you can ride too. Things like Milford Sound you can't ride on, can't take jet skis on. You can take boats and jet boats, just not jet skis. I'm not too sure why that is down there, but that's a shame because I was going to go down there as well. But anyway. I just wanted to get right up hard against this side of the lake. It's quite an intimidating landscape actually, very alpine, very South Island. You don't get this in the North Island, but this is just straight up. Wide angle lens is not going to give it any justice again, but very intimidating landscape, rugged. And imagine all this is just snow covered when you get into winter. Little streams that just run, you can't see it, I can hear it just running off the hills there. Beautiful. Now I'm going to head back down that way. I might either go right across the other side of the lake, or I'll hug this side and then try and see if I can get to that little island and have a look at that. Should be good fun. Geez, I tell you, the only problem with wearing a wetsuit is when you need to take a leak. It's a bit of a mission, so I'm going to have to work that out very quickly. But I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, and I hope the footage comes out very nice. Still the only boat or motorised vessel on the water, so very lucky. A little bit of chop, just a little bit, not much just on this side, but it cleans up when you get closer on the other side, so Let's keep going. Now, someone was telling me that these beautiful purple pink flowers are not actually New Zealand native. Someone said something about someone bringing it over. Oh, watch out for that. There's rock there. Just bringing it over and thought that'll look nice here, and then just planted them, but they're everywhere and they do add to the landscape. They're really pretty. This whole area is just phenomenal, really. You can see again, it just gets deep so quickly. And when you try and beach up, you go from having a foot of water to basically just dropping. So very hard to beach your ski. I'm not actually really beaching it. I get in and use my anchor. With these glass gel type hulls, I don't like beaching them. I had no problem with those Polytech hulls. Those are already kind of naturally scuffed up. They're more durable, so I would comfortably beach that, but not this ski. I'll tell you what's different to the North Island as well in the south. It's all the wildlife. There's so many different birds. I was bringing my ski down. It's an interesting experience, and I came across one of the passes from the west coast to the east coast. It's the Lewis Pass, Arthur's Pass. The Lewis Pass. I was going to take the Arthur's Pass, but and stay a night there. And then I found out that the Keas, as large New Zealand native parrots, they always pull apart your rubber off your cars and everything like that. They're very cheeky, but they have a particular fascination for boat covers, apparently. And if your car is the largest in the car park, I'm driving a big iron ute, and I've got a Sea-Doo covered Sea-Doo in the back, it's very likely that they'll actually pick it, get in there and start pulling the rubbers off, so I'm told. So I didn't do that. Something to watch out for if you're pulling your ski around some of the high alpine areas around New Zealand. Wow, check out that house. I mean, that is living, having a house sitting right there on the lake, very remote, right under the foothills of the mountains. Oh, it's so beautiful. Maybe you can see it better if I stand up. This side of the lake is not as rugged, definitely a lot shallower grade. There's a few more residences, probably farmland and whatnot, but yeah, again, I'm not too sure whether that's, I believe that might be where it's either this part over here or the other side of that hill where Round Hill is. Somewhere in this general area. Nice ski field. Going to go back down that way now. Another thing too, if you're just riding an ST3 hull, I have been asked a couple of times, how does it go? I'm just used to it, but just if you've got any chop, wake, you're with people, just get your bow out of the water. I find if you have your bow too low, it will hunt, but it's completely manageable once you know what it does. Let's keep tracking. Wow, look at this. Isn't that cool? There's trees just coming out of the lake like that. Beautiful turquoise water. And turquoise, some sort of light blue, teal, green, blue. Man, that is so cool. What kind of trees they are, but it's so peaceful. And now just behind here, there's actually an amazing house. Oh, probably annoying them, but look at that. Oh, that's not it. It might be the guest residence. Can't really see it. I could see it when I was coming up. There's another one back there. What a spot to live, eh? How deep that is. Let's have a look. That is cool. Might struggle here, but let's just go through this bit here. Oh, you do. Watch your head. Wow, what a spot. There it is, look at that. Back up a bit. Now you tell me anywhere you'd rather live. You wake up every morning on that lovely deck out the front and you look out at this. It's just ridiculous. Is there anywhere else in the world that it's like this? I guess, you know, I see some of the videos, Mark, Bob over in Canada and the lakes, like looks somewhat similar, but you don't know. Combination of the scenery, landscape, it's different. I think this is very unique to New Zealand. Look at this 8-gauge wire fence just going straight into the water there. That'll keep your sheep in. It's very Kiwi. Oh, it's not 8-gauge. I don't know what that is. Anyway, I'm no farmer. Cool shed. I don't know how much snow they get up here. I'd imagine they get a little bit of snowfall right through depths of winter. There's another tree in the water. Let's have a look at that. Be mindful of these sort of rocks. I've seen it better days. Looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. This could be dicey. But hey, Let's have a little look-see around here. Through there. Oh, yep, there's some rocks climbing up here. You can see those. One thing the ST3 hull, and any hull to be fair, doesn't do well is fear in a one-on-one fight with a rock. It's changing every sort of 100, 200 meters. It's different vegetation. Oh, the rock coming up there. Nowhere to beach. No, there's a tiny little beach back there, but other than that, it's all just rock. Looks like it gets a bit different when you go around here, though. It's a bit mangrovey down here. But again, you can see how it's chalked up, the water now. It's much sort of darker, not darker, but just a different tinge of blue when you were back around the other side. Now, I'll tell you, I put one of these Sea-Doo storage units for the ST3 hull, and it's really handy. I do recommend it. It does restrict what you can put in the storage area, but at the same time, it's just handy for filming. I can put, a drink bottle, cameras straight in there. Recommend that. I've just pulled into this beautiful little island. Put the name down here. I can't remember it right now, but still I'm the only boat in the water. It's just amazing. Have a look at this. So I've actually got my paddle board here, so I'm going to pump that up and have a paddle. Alright, so got one of these cheapo inflatable stand-up paddle boards. Get this thing in here. Does it work? There for me, I'd say. Check it out. They usually have the paddle from my stand-up paddle surfing days. You put it on the ground, and then it's should be kind of nearly extended full arm at the top. So it's actually pretty good. There we go. Let's pump this bad boy up. Bit of a workout this. Oh, I need one of those little battery powered auto pumps. Alright, good there. Centre fin in. Come on, buddy. There we go. Leash on. Bob's your uncle. Alright, off we go. So I might go this way. Extend that a bit. Let's have a little explore. I love all these trees. It's all trees just coming out of the water. Oh, I was hoping there'd be a little bay or something. It's quite uniform on the coastline. Don't like seeing that. Powerade bottle. I'm going to grab that. It's too nice a place for rubbish. Man, this is stunning. So peaceful when you're just cruising around. This would be a great place to take your e-foil. I think I might have a walk through the island. See what I can see. Watch out for those submerged rocks, because if I overbalance and fall in, I don't want to fall on a rock. If you haven't stand-up paddleboarded before, thinking of doing this and pulling one around with you on your ski, make sure you get a good width. So the leaderage is not all the balance with sups. Good thing, particularly if you're taller, and I'm about 6'3", so your centre of balance is higher, so you're a bit harder to balance. But your width, your rocker, all that sort of stuff plays a part. So don't just get a long one, make sure you get one that's got a bit of width on it. It's got a big centre fin. And always keep looking up. You start overbalancing and you look down, you're going to probably fall in. So whenever I start overbalancing, even when I'm in the surf, I just look up and you can usually cover. Other thing too, if you're a newbie to it, is make sure that your curve of your paddle is facing down. That's where it goes in the water. Don't go that way around, which I've seen before as well. But yeah, you can get one of these inflatable ones. There's a multitude of them. This is a cheap one. Does the job. So I'll try it out. Good workout too. Put that in the bin later on. Only piece of rubbish I've seen the whole trip. Gotta respect your environment. Alright. Just saw the first other boat of the day on the water. A few nice guys trawling around. They've just left, so it's back to me only. Probably one of my favourite days of my life today. I keep having those. It's an intent that I've had in the last couple of years to try and resist the urge of ageing, getting more cynical, not much joy in your life. I think that's probably natural when you get older as an adult, but I'm trying to resist that and doing things like this, adventuring, swatting off giant bumblebees. All of that makes me feel alive, feel like I'm living, and pretty special. I'm also very lucky and privileged to be able to do this. Very lucky to live in such an amazing country. But yeah, I'd encourage anybody, I'd encourage you to just get into nature and connect with it and try an adventure. Now, it doesn't have to be on a jet ski. You can get on a paddleboard, you can just walk, hike. I've got some really cool little videos, and I just go out and hike. I did a really nice hike the other day to Lake Rotawiti in the top of the South Island. Just see some amazing waterfalls, wildlife, nature, all that stuff makes me feel really good, just like this does. It's good for my mental health. Yeah, really encourage you to do that. And I just want to say thanks again to you for watching, for any support. I get some nice comments. I've met a few people in public as well, which is always quite a bizarre experience, but enjoy it. Thank you to everybody, and yeah, if you do these kind of things, and hopefully I've encouraged you to do it, can you let me know? It's makes me feel really good knowing that people are actually out there and I've motivated them to do something like this. Alright, back on the water. I've just come right across here just to check out this little island. Tiny little one next to the other one. Much too early, but you can easily beach up on that. You can see it's starting to get a bit choppy now. Not too bad, like you're only talking about a foot or half a foot shot, but wind's picking up. So I'm just going to do a little bit more exploring before it gets too choppy and get back to the boat ramp. Wow, I'm back on this side, right on the southeastern side of the lake. I hope I'm allowed here, I think I am. There was a ski lane back there I stayed clear of. But you're back to these trees again. Crazy. Very pretty. This is as far as you can go, and you can see the wind's just died right down this side. It's just almost southerly, might be. There's a few submerged rocks here. Could be distance. I'll actually go around this. This will be a little bit of a point here. It's very shallow. Ducks and whatnot, having a bit of a chill up there. Alright, that's going to be the video. I'm going to mosey back to the boat ramp, get myself set, and I might even go do a quick hike and hit the hot springs a bit later on. But yeah, the wind didn't really pick up. Just when I get further down there's a bit more draw, so a little bit choppy but not too bad. But I'm pretty tired, need some lunch, need a coffee. I think I might be getting a caffeine headache. Yeah, so thanks again, been an amazing adventure. Very, very happy I came down here. Onwards and upwards to the next adventure. See you later.